Permission to Play, How Teens Can Build a Life That is Fun, Fulfilling, and Promising. I put it together and released it about 3 years ago, and it's in 3 parts. Part 1 is just stories, how I went from St. Louis to Chicago to Japan to having these crazy dream jobs and a lot of experiences in between, my relationship with my parents, my dad, everything. And then part 2 is, the title of the chapters are Excuses. And at first I was like, oh, these excuses that all teens have. But as I've gone along and spoken to people all over the country, I've clearly seen these excuses are universal no matter the age or location or background. And it's things like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have the skills. I don't come from that type of family. I don't know anybody who's done this. It's all these excuses that we all have, and how I have dealt with them and the lessons I've learned, and how the reader can deal with them and be successful on their own journey. And then part 3, we wanted to boost the content that we give them. So there was questions at the end of each chapter. So we took those questions, made it into like an action guide at the end. So that is my book. I am so pumped that I am able to communicate my story in a book. I love the title. My publisher and editor came up with the title. She's like, Joe, you play for your life. Like, that's what you do. One of the principles that I talk about when I speak is when you make no distinction between work and play, you have achieved true mastery in life. So when I want to give people permission to play. Like, it's okay to go after your dreams, to pursue the things that you are passionate about. Having a book allows me to stick with the audience and allows the message that I have and the content I have to multiply and duplicate and stretch out. Because it's one thing to come in for 45 minutes and have a good time and get people up and relaxed and like fired up. But that feeling leaves after an hour, after a day. But when people have the opportunity to have my book, because of the good experience that we had together, they want to get to know me, but they also want to keep that feeling of inspiration and passion alive, and that's what the book allows me to do. One of the reasons why I wanted to have a book, not just to put everything together, but to have something in the back of the room so that I'm able to say, hey, if you like this, the 3 or 4 stories that I talked about on stage today, there's about 50 of those stories in the back there.